Good afternoon. This is Rich Nelson with Allendale covering the rapid comments. Today is Wednesday, April 27th of 2011. Of course, a big exciting day here. The trade was very skeptical, very concerned about Ben Bernanke's comments here set for 1:15 Central Time. And as we're listening to him right now, it doesn't look to be anything really shocking here. The Fed made no major changes as far as its policy here earlier today. And also a second issue here as far as the Bernanke comments, he essentially said they are going to finish up their $600 billion planned purchase of U.S. Treasuries as promised and as scheduled. That will finish up in June. So at this point, looks like this press conference was more or less a public relations type of issue and not necessarily any brand new policy changes here to speak of. So in this respect, though the corn and soybeans certainly did break today, 13.25 cents, 8 cents respectively. It looks like we probably made these moves here today without really much backing regarding scare tactics from the Fed announcement here. As far as weather, we can point out that weather's still going to be unchanged here for now through this weekend. Looks like we do have a second round of precip lined up for kind of Saturday, Sunday time frame here. The questions are right now with the model disagreement about next week's weather here. It looks like instead of a mid-next week rain, all the models do agree that we will get that pushed back to a late next week type of rain. So that is one thing to speak of here. Also, some models suggest that maybe this western corn belt may not get as much rain as expected here. So we could have maybe some guys getting some planting into eastern Nebraska possibly by Tuesday or Wednesday here before those late next week rains here start. But keep in mind, in the big picture here, we're going to have a severely delayed planting here in the eastern corn belt. And for the western corn belt, any progress they make early next week will not be gangbuster progress here. So at this point, we still have to show overall concern for the planting pace here. Other issues here for corn, we can note that ethanol weekly ethanol production here this afternoon, 883,000 barrels were processed last week. That was up sharply from the 856,000 from the week before. So we had that big anomaly week, which was the week before number, and looks like today's puts us much closer to the normal range. Since January 1, almost every week has been pretty much from about 880 to about 920,000 barrels. So the good news is we're back in the normal type of range, and we can just say that last week's number was an anomaly. Also keep in mind that during March, for every bushel of corn that these processors purchased and made into ethanol and DDGs, they are getting back 27 cents of profit here. So at least during March, they're running profitably here. Over on soybeans, we do have some concern about tomorrow morning's U.S. Census Bureau crush report. So each month and mid-month we get the NOPA numbers, and then later on the month we get the Census Bureau numbers saying running for crush here. For our soybeans, 139 million bushels are expected to have run through the soybean crush plants last month. Key problem here with that is that puts us year to date at about 7.5% under last year. And USDA says we'll be at 5.8%. So we're already behind the pace needed to beat USDA. And these latest months, we're running about 11% behind last year. So we're still suggesting that this crush number USDA is using is a little unrealistic and needs to be lowered a little bit here by about 30 million bushels. For wheat, certainly the good news for today is portions of those parched areas in the southwest plains did get some rains. Most guys probably saw about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, certainly good. We've even gotten some reports of maybe 1 inch to 1.25 inches in some select regions. So that certainly was a reason why the wheat broke a bit here today. Over on the livestock, cattle finished up about $1.25. Really can't say anything brand new as far as good news occurred here today with cattle. In fact, we traded active cash here at 116. So we saw early sales on Monday of 117, some light sales on Tuesday of 116, and today we get the confirmation of more active sales at 116 again. This represents a $3 drop from last week's trade. So we can simply say today's probably just more or less a profit-taking type of move here compared to the last 2 or 3 days of sharp lower down prices here. Over on hogs, down 40 cents here for the June contract. Key question right now is, have we finally got this market do we feel more stable here? Are we going to see some stability show up here after 3 or 4 days of very rough pricing? As far as the hogs, we've got a few things working against us, as we talk about in the wrap-up comments here each night. Number one, we've got cheap chicken. The fact that chicken is running about 12 to 13% under last year. Second issue is cold and wet temps certainly inhibit the consumer from buying pork and other products for outdoor grilling. So we don't have that outdoor grilling demand that we expected at this time of year. Third thing is, with gas prices so high and making such strong gains, it looks like some people may be scrimping on the meat portion of the food budget here. So that's also one concern here. But let's see if we get some stability showing up here in the next few days. Looks like by the end of the month, maybe we'll have some better news to report here as far as that hog demand picture goes here. Overall, though, big news for us today was this Bernanke and also the weather things. Other things moving in this market, we certainly have some questions about yield for new crop, whether we actually can hit that trend yield and those type of issues here. Keep on top of Allendale's research to actually get those answers. And you can subscribe to us if you're not already, allendale-inc.com. Or to give us a call here at Allendale and talk to one of our brokerage unit representatives, 1-800-262-7538. This is Rich Nelson. Have a good trading day and a good trading week.